What is up, folks of the internet, and welcome back to another edition of the ONETA Show, brought to you by PTE Creative. I'm coming to you with a little late night recording session here as we go into our Tuesday show, as I got a lot to do. I got a lot to say because we are going over a conundrum in the media world. That is this. It's one that's been talked about frequently, but it's one that I don't know if it's ever been covered properly. And that is actually Marvel's or Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel Studios Phase 4. Marvel Studios famously puts their movie slates in phases to tell the story that they're doing. For those who don't know that, I can't believe you'd be listening to a podcast like that. They put all their movies in a phase, so to speak. So the original Avengers movies all the way up to Avengers. So anything from Iron Man through Thor and Captain America all the way to the first Avengers. That's phase 1, for instance. We're now in phase 4, or we're exiting phase 4 as we go towards our next phase. But one of the interesting things about the MCU right now is even us complete nerds that absolutely adore comic books, that absolutely adore the Marvel Cinematic Universe, love the fact that things are being added seemingly nonstop, are super fatigued by Marvel and the superhero genre in general outside of specific projects. I think it's a really unique and interesting conundrum because if you actually look back, a lot of people say, oh, it's not what it used to be. People that are expecting Avengers Endgame are always going to be disappointed when something's not Avengers. That can't be helped. However, we're also looking at an audience that's extremely jaded when you. I wanted to take a look. So I'm going to do somewhat of a retrospective episode, but also a total view of Phase 4 and where Marvel is now. And that's kind of going to be today's show. And this is not going to be the only time I ever talk about this, as I'm a huge fan. But I really started thinking about this more and more. Recently, I just ended up watching a few of Marvel projects that I hadn't seen, but now I'm completely up to date, or rewatched again, and I was flabbergasted how much I really appreciated them. And I thought I was in this mode of like, another Marvel project, and now I'm kind of back in and looking for more Marvel. So, and I was really intrigued by this idea, especially since a couple weeks ago those loyal listeners and loyal watchers of the show know that I did a summer movie preview with my younger brother Dylan. So, and the only thing I think we both were 100% positive about, no matter what, was Deadpool and Wolverine, which is now introduced into the true Marvel cinema. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to do this with a visual aid as well. So if you're on video, you're going to get to see the full thing that we're going to do. So I'm going to be using Rotten Tomatoes as a great example because I want to see both a critical response and an audience response to the films. And I think Rotten Tomatoes is probably the best. So without further ado, let's begin. We're going to start all the way at the beginning. Phase 4 truly starts actually with WandaVision, although it was not the intended start. Black Widow was supposed to be theoretically the start because Black Widow is far more of a continuation of Phase 3 and finishing Phase 3. It's a soft launch point, I guess, if you want to say it that way. WandaVision ended up being the beginning of Marvel's Phase 4 because Far From Home was the wrapping up of Phase 3 and Endgame storyline. So, WandaVision was a completely wonderful show, very unique, very interesting. One I really enjoyed. I thought it had a pretty weak ending. In my personal opinion, I was super flabbergasted to get Scarlet Witch. I'm a huge Scarlet Witch fan from the comic books, but it certainly was just a very quick turnaround to get a result. And that's been kind of my issue with a lot of Scarlet Witch storyline that's telling in far. But at the same time, it was a strong start because it was a continuation of characters that didn't get their just due, and it got more vision. Although, in my opinion, it wasn't perfect. Look, critical response 92%, Audience response 88%. So across the board, very positive there for WandaVision, and tremendously well. We then go on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Different genres. We got different eras of sitcoms with WandaVision. You see creativity there. Now you see the creativity of taking on the not even political thriller, just the political time that we're in, the moment that we're in, fighting for race, fighting for political justice for everybody, all these different things. Falcon and Winter Soldier hits that really hard, and by many accounts, it hits you over the head. But I thought it was a wonderfully done series with phenomenal action pieces. Again, continues two storylines of characters that we know and care about and that had character development but needed more. They both got it. And now we have the adoption of a new Captain America following. Again, critical response 85%, audience response 82%. Again, really positively reviewed show by most people. So already we're only 2 shows into phase 4 and we're kind of combating that. And maybe people can say, oh, we weren't fatigued then, they were still living the highs and we're going out of the pandemic, or we're still in the pandemic but we're starting to eke our way out of that pandemic lifestyle, so we're just clawing at the bit for new content and we're desperate to get something. Okay, fine. Let's continue to Loki. Loki is a phenomenal series. Loki season 1 is incredibly unique, incredibly different, and what a wonderful character development. By far the best character development in all of phase 4, in my opinion. Loki, I think, is one of the absolute high points of phase 4. Season 1 was tremendous. Season 2 gets even crazier and more unique and different. But again, it's a heist drama, but it's also a time period drama, but a sci-fi thriller. It's a whole mess of genres well done. And we're still seeing new content constantly from the MCU. And Loki season 1 and season 2 both great, and they're currently reviewed 87% critically, 86% audience. Ironic that the audience score is not higher than the critical score, but I think that's fair and expected, and it's close enough that you can't say, oh wow, it's a critical success and an audience mass failure. Now let's go to our first movie here. It should have been a 2020 release. COVID happened, and then this became a Disney Plus darling. It wasn't a true wide release. It may have actually, from all reports, may have actually severed a lot of the relationship Disney had with Scarlett Johansson, which is a shame since she was kind of a Disney mainstay due to her Marvel work. Black Widow is not a tremendously great movie, but it has a really high strong point. Florence Pugh actually absolutely steals the show for me, along with David Harbour. Really, really great work all around. And Black Widow is a very fun family spy drama. It's very strange, unique dynamic with a lot of quality action to it. There are some problems to it. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not problematic in some ways, but it's a fine movie. It's a good movie by all intents and purposes, especially by modern day movie. Again, quote unquote certified fresh, 79%, and 79% critical, 91% audience score. So where, that's already something to think. We're looking at the first 4 projects of the phase 4 timeline, I guess. We're getting heavy hitters of characters we all know and love from our time with phases 1 through 3. And they all are theoretically working in pop. So phase 4 starts off incredibly, incredibly well by all intents and purposes. So where's the problem? That's, I think, the thing. You got to go back and you start looking, where's the problem? And even if you want to say Black Widow's a problem, I would go far more mulligan on that one. COVID took that one. movies inherently did not recover. You could kind of say until No Time to Die in 2021. That did well. Didn't do as well as it normally would, but it did well. But movies inherently in the theater have not truly recovered outside of Top Gun Maverick and The Batman and those level movies. And those are huge, huge blockbuster franchises with huge history, with tremendous audience and critical, and are of a quality that is hard to match ever, let alone in modern time. It's hard to match the quality of either of those two films. There's been other films that have done well, haven't been besides that, but they don't match that. So it took until the beginning summers of 2022 before movies really recovered. And last year was kind of the return to the movies in a weird way because of the Barbenheimer weekend of Oppenheimer. So we're still figuring that out. So where's the problem? First 4 projects, not really a true problem. So let's go back a bit more. We go back to the MCU. What if? What if is a different kind of thing. What if is a very interesting animated piece and very as an introductory piece into the Marvel world of MCU. It's a very, very. It's not exactly what fans want. It's not exactly what I want, so to speak, because it doesn't take enough twists and turns and start introducing new. But again, we're playing within the MCU, not playing in Marvel Comics. And eventually you will get there. But it's a high quality show with an audience rating of 79%, critical rating 91%. It's still a high point fun show. I have yet to watch season 2. I've dabbled with it a little bit, but I haven't fully. So wherein lies what we're doing? Wherein lies the problem? And then you get to, in my opinion, the actual best Marvel movie ever made. 2021, and this did well, just probably didn't do as well as it could have because we're still coming out of that pandemic. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Like I said, I am of the opinion that's the best Marvel. It is a wonderfully, wonderfully touching, personal family story set within a kung fu movie or an Eastern martial arts film set within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, set within a fantasy. There are so many layers to this film, so many wonderful pieces. It is flabbergasting. I just rewatched it with my wife, and it just confirmed everything I already thought. And look, 91% critical response, 98% audience response. 2% of reviewers didn't like it. And it's with an almost completely unknown to the Marvel Cinematic. Obviously, Simu Liu is growing in popularity. Aquafina was known. Michelle Yeoh is known, but she didn't have Everything Everywhere All at Once yet. Tony Leung, Asian film star, kind of known in the Western world, but not a true Western star. It's such an interesting and unique thing to deal with, and yet it is such a wonderfully told personal family story and a personal growth story, and a wonderful way to examine through the Marvel lens. Familial drama, immigrant drama, and I don't mean drama in a negative way, just how that, in my opinion, as I said already, best Marvel movie of all time. I think Endgame's still my favorite, but Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is damn close. But I think if you're talking about straight quality, Shang-Chi is the best Marvel movie ever made. Wherein lies the problem? Now we can go to our first dud. This is what, ironically, Marvel was banking on to be their new epic, and that was going to be how they got people back in it. Marvel's going to rescue the theater. Marvel's going to rescue theaters with Eternals. Eternals didn't work. But yet you look at the Eternals score. It's a historical epic that spans thousands of years with a unique, talented, diverse cast. I have my problems with it. The fact that Icarus is the villain is a fucking dumbass idea, in my opinion. It's kind of the classic. When you look at a lot of the Elseworlds tales of DC Comics, they will make anybody a villain. They will never make Batman the villain. And now for the last 5 years, they've kind of like devoted as much time and effort at DC to somehow try to make Batman. And they always have to do crazy Elseworld stories or crazy AI or all these different things to make Batman the villain. Because the core principle is this: don't fucking make Batman the villain. Because that's not what Batman is. Batman is the hero and he's the one you can't touch. You can touch Superman. You can make him the villain. You can fuck with Wonder Woman. You can make her the villain. You can't do that to Batman. Eternals, obviously not nearly as well known as the Holy Trinity comic. Not as well known by anyone. Even the MCU fans that started to read comics and get into comics because of the movies, they didn't even read Eternals. It was us, the crazy comic book nerds, that went through and tried to find as many things as possible and knew Eternals and loved Eternals. Icarus is the one fucking character you cannot make the villain because he is core to the spirit of the team. He's core to the spirit of the idea. He brings the humanity into the Eternals. Because although he is flawed, he ends up doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And then to make him the villain also takes a huge piece of heart out. And people can say, well, you can do anything. Of course you can. You can do anything. That doesn't mean it's going to. And just ultimately, Marvel banked on the wrong movie. But even saying all that, critically, 47%. Fair enough. It's considered rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, fine. 77% of moviegoers that watched it still appreciated and gave it a positive review. That's wild. That is wild. But even let's go back. Let's scroll all the way down. Iron Fist. Bad. Worse than that one. I'm looking at old movies here at this point. Try to find Iron Man 3. Still a decently reviewed movie. Incredible Hulk. Better than Eternals, probably. Worst reviews as an aggregate. See Thor: The Dark World. 67% on Rotten Tomatoes, 75% audience score. So audiences still liked it more than Thor: The Dark World, but critics hated it, which rightfully so, because it has problems and it's a pacing issue. I've seen a lot of comments saying it should have been a Disney Plus series. I think Eternals would have been a great Disney Plus series had they done it that way, but they chose to go the movie route. That's fine. And already Eternals 2 is being canceled, and that was probably going to be their big epic series to move forward. But we're just looking at it. WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Black Widow, What If, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. They shot 6 for 6, and then they went 6 for 7, and audiences still liked Eternals. There's still pieces of Eternals I like. They just violated core tenets that really bother me. But there's still a lot of good content in Eternals. So where is the problem here? Okay, where is the problem that we're going? And I think you may be starting to see it here. Let's just finish out 2021. Hawkeye. Fun, different style of series. Brought a different tone. You look at this. Eternals, super serious. Shang-Chi, fun but serious. What If? Got actually quite serious. Black Widow, pretty serious. Loki, fun, but eventually gets quite serious. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, serious. WandaVision, starts funky and weird, gets serious. Seeing a lot of serious tones. Hawkeye always had that. Hawkeye has a weird balance of trying to be serious but also funny at the same time. But I found it to be a wildly enjoyable show. Further evidence: 88% audience, 92%. So wherein lies the beef? Wherein lies the problem? Then you get Spider-Man No Way Home, one of the most popular movies seemingly ever, with the return of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire as Batman. Batman as Spider-Man, my God. And as the two previous live-action Spider-Man. You got the return of old villains, a wonderful story, well-paced, well-told, very, very unique and interesting. 93% critic rating, 98% audience rating. Everyone was thrilled to watch it. So in 2021 alone, there were 9 Marvel projects. And if you're going strictly on audience rating, they are all hits. If you are going on strictly critical ratings, 8 of the 9 are all hits. Wherein lies the problem? And we had super popular, high quality films from No Way Home, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. You had high quality series like Loki, like WandaVision, like Hawkeye, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What if? All the Disney Plus stuff was high quality that year. But let's look at the number. 9 Marvel projects. Part of that is, yes, Black Widow was delayed from 2020. But still, we had 9 Marvel projects come out. So maybe that's where your fatigue starts to come in. Okay. So we're being overwhelmed with Marvel. That is almost, we are at pretty much every 6 weeks, 2021, we're getting new Marvel. And by new Marvel content, I'm not talking an episode. I'm talking a full-on movie or a full-on, television series. That's a lot of content. That's where you can start going, oh shit, we might have a fatigue issue. And I think that's where you can start seeing the problem. But it's not a quality issue. The quality's still there all the way throughout 2021. Think about that. You're shooting 8 for 9 or by audience score 9 for 9. High quality stuff. That is a phenomenal batting average. That's a phenomenal rate of success. Were they financial successes as much? No. But we're coming out of a pandemic. We're coming off of the height of popularity. We're now in the building phase again. The numbers financially are never going to match that of Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War. Those are the 2 biggest cultural movies of the past decade. Think about that. The last cultural movie in history was Avengers Endgame. Much as I want to say, no, Top Gun Maverick had that. They kind of did. Oppenheimer, Barbie, they have that. But they don't dominate the conversation the way Avengers build of 10 plus years. Right? So you're coming off of all of that. You have to rebuild to get there. You have to take a lull. A roller coaster isn't just up all the time and straight down. It doesn't go one hill. A roller coaster up and down, and then you have to kind of build 2 more hills. It's an ebb and flow to a roller. When you write a story, when you watch a show, when you film, it isn't just that rarely, if ever, works. Even Mad Max Fury Road, which is critically acclaimed, a fucking brilliant movie. Chef's Kiss, glorious movie all the way through. Rightfully nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Award. Even that film, which is known as balls to the wall, fucking go all the time, go, 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 still has moments or scenes with a little bit of a lull. And that's not because it's trying to take away, it's trying to let you. So if we want to start where fatigue is, it's not a quality issue, it's a quantity issue. Maybe that's the root of the problem. Let's go forward. I'm going to stop going through project by project outside of words. Go 2022 though. Moon Knight. First series of 2022. In total of the 2022 pictures, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, 9 Marvel projects in 22. 9 Marvel projects in 22. You recall, at the height of the MCU, we got 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 movies a year. And a lot of people are like, whoa, that's crazy. But apparently, almost every month, 2022. So again, we're seeing maybe this is a quantity issue. Let's go here. Moon Knight, fun series, very unique, very interesting, very different. Had a bit of a tone issue for my liking. A lot of people had a similar experience, but again, critically, 86%, 89% audience. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Whatever people want to say, I did have some issues with the portrayal of the Scarlet Witch. Thought it was a little too fast for her to make that heel turn. I don't think Scarlet Witch is over. Anyone who believes the Scarlet Witch is dead is a fool. But you are already looking at 73% critic rating, 85% audience rating. Still high quality. A lot of great moments in that film. Very fun movie to just go pick and choose. America Chavez was a great addition. Heel Scarlet Witch was scary and menacing at times, even though I think it was too fast, asking the audience to invest way too much and then just turn her in a heel turn. There's still great scary moments to Scarlet Witch being a badass. Still high quality stuff in Multiverse of Madness. Ms. Marvel, 98% critic rating, 80% audience rating. Wildly different than what you think most people say about that. I actually personally love Ms. It's slow going at first. It's a little too coming of age, kiddish, and then all of a sudden you hit the flashbacks to the Middle East. Game changer. Fucking game changer. Once you get there. And it's the setup to a wonderfully beautiful, the very heartwarming family story. Tremendous, tremendous, tremendous. Absolutely adore Miss Marvel. Thor: Love and Thunder, misfire. I don't care what anyone says, misfire, and you can tell. Critic rating 63%, audience rating 76. That is a low-level Marvel film. And I'm not even someone who says, I hate Jane Foster, I hate Natalie Portman. I didn't like her in the first 2 films. I liked her in Love and Thunder. But it's a waste of a quality actor, it's a waste of a quality villain. Christian Bale. And it's trying to do far too much, and the tone is way too fucked. Way too up and down, way too, we're going to kidnap your children into total darkness, but then we're going to equate feeling shitty as a way of telling our lost partner that we still love them and we want to fuck. It just doesn't balance out. It doesn't work. It's not the same movie. I want to make that very clear. But it's kind of like if you are a Taika Waititi fan. I like Taika's original work. I don't like his Thor work. It's just not my cup of tea with Thor. Don't like his Thor work at all. I've never really appreciated Thor Ragnarok either. I feel the same way about the tone of Jojo Rabbit that I do with Thor: Love and Thunder. But that's the point. Jojo Rabbit is trying to make light of a horrible situation and tell a wild story through the context of tragedy. You can say Thor: Love and Thunder is a romantic comedy. Like, not the same. Can't have the same tone. Doesn't work out that way. And so you can tell from the ratings of that. I Am Groot. It's a fun little animated series. It doesn't really add much to it. But again, 88% critical rating, 79% on audience. She-Hulk. This is a tough one. It's a tough one because I wasn't personally into She-Hulk. I love the last 2 episodes. I actually do like the character of Jen Walters. I just don't like I'm not crazy about the way that the show overall portrayed its characters. Wasn't crazy about that in the slightest. Did like how they introduced Daredevil. A little bit more fun. Not crazy about One Night Stand with no shoes walking away, but whatever. But again, there's still quality moments and there's quality character there. It's an unfair bullshit 32% audience rating. Critically 77%. I don't think everyone actually hates She-Hulk because it was kind of the classic. Let's review bomb this thing. But if that's how people feel, they're entitled to feel. But we're seeing a drop in quality here, regardless of what people want to say. Moon Knight does not have the same staying power as the 4 shows from the prior. We go to Miss Marvel. Okay, we can go there. She-Hulk, the quality drops. No matter even if you love it or you hate it, you can't say the She-Hulk quality is as good as the 4 previous shows. My opinion. And it's being reflected in this. When we go by Werewolf by Night, it's not fair. It's a one episode, 45-minute to an hour, fun project. 89% on the critics, 88% on the audience. Fun Halloween special, loved it. And then you get Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Did not like that film. I don't think it's a good film. But that's my opinion. Audiences loved it, 94%. Critics liked it, 83%. I thought Namor was a phenomenal addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They needed a Namor character, and I'm glad they fucking finally got one. Continuing with Shuri as the Black Panther, interesting choice, not what I would have done, but whatever. I understand. Again, you want to give them the mulligan. You lost Chadwick Boseman, you lost your Black Panther, you were reeling with it, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever is pretty much the film in general is kind of a study in grief, kind of what the film was made to be from all recounts. But there's too much Marvel-ish stuff of the whiz bang pow and trying to add Ironheart and trying to get a new Black Panther and trying to establish Namor and doing all these wild things that are very, very Marvel-esque Flash, while also trying to tell this hyper-personal story of Shuri and the loss of her brother and kind of the reflection of the audience losing Chad. Trying to do all this at once, and I think the only thing it really truly succeeds at is introducing Namor as a villain. Or I shouldn't even say a villain, antagonist. But again, well received. And Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, 94% critically, 81%. Fun little throwaway project to a degree. Does have some complications moving forward for the MCU, but still, you see 2022. Quality's still there. It dips a bit, but it's still there still steady. No matter what, it's still high quality stuff for the general most part. Again, common thread, 9 projects. You're doing it again and again, and you're asking your audience to do something. That's where you can see the fatigue coming in. But should we be fatigued if we love it and we're getting high quality things? Really interesting economy that you studio. How do you balance? We have to find the health. Let's go to 2023. There is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. And Echo is right after the turn, but I will still be fair and say Echo is not a. You start with Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is where I think you look. What is the actual quality of the projects of the 4 from? And that's not fair because Loki season 2 was in here. We do have What If season 2 was also 20. Going back just to make sure I don't. So we got more series. So really, we had 6 2023 projects. But nonetheless, we're seeing, okay, maybe we're learning. Quality wasn't there. But we're still shooting 66% from a quality standpoint. All intents. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is problematic. A very interesting and unique way to try to set up your next big villain after. Was it the wrong project to do it? In retrospect, probably. Your critical rating is 46%. Your audience rating is 82%. I'm shocked. I love the Ant-Man. I really, really do. I don't hate Quantumania, but I was kind of like, ugh. And I still like Jonathan Majors as an actor. Obviously, he's a problematic human from all intents and purposes, which is fortunate. I loved him in Lovecraft Country. I've liked him in pretty much everything I've ever seen him in as an actor. Now, problems with him theoretically as a human being. Problems for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but at the time we didn't know that, or we just got announced that as the scandal just broke as Ant-Man and the Wasp came out. Give my actual opinion, and it still was meh at best and ugh at. So the quality dips a lot for him. You're like, okay, well, what about the next one? Because we're coming off of quality projects here for the most part. That's where I think if I get fatigued, I look at Thor: Love and Thunder. Didn't like it. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I'm kind of on the story there. I love Namor though. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I'm like, ugh, at best. It's 3 straight movies that are problematic and are divisive. That's a problem. Okay? That's where you can say quality drop. Then you get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Frankly, a movie I was not actually all that excited about. A lot of people kind of weren't because they're like, oh, okay, another Guardians film. And when you're already fatigued, you're like, do we need another one of those? And it turned out to be great. And a wonderful, wonderful film that was super touching, heartfelt, great way to exit the characters, create a new team to move forward, get some closure for our characters entirely, though. 82% critical, 94% audience. So the quality goes straight back up. God damn, that's great. And then we get Secret Invasion, which, fuck, that show sucked. Like, 52% critical, 46% audience. Secret Invasion is so problematic. And it was probably the one I was most excited for of the more modern shows. You're getting Nick Fury, you're getting espionage, you're getting Skrulls, you're getting all these wild fucking possibilities of crazy fucking shit. Then, ugh. Apparently, there's a Skrull that's as powerful as every fucking being in the universe now. In Gaia, and we're just like chilling, huh? What? Just wildly problematic. Wildly problematic show. Then in this interlude between the Marvels, you do get Loki 3 or season 2, I should say. Great telling, great show. Wait, when did that come out? I gotta double check that one. Loki is. Yeah, 2003. It was in October. That's what I thought. So Loki kind of saves it from Secret Invasion. So you can go, okay, Disney Plus is still hitting pretty well, but Secret Invasion, She-Hulk, a lot of people weren't crazy about Miss Marvel, but I think, but still pretty good show. So you're seeing the dip in qualities. The ebb and flow isn't there quite a bit. It's just kind of like a dip. But Loki season 2 is a phenomenal show. Phenomenal series. And then you get to the Marvels, which I just watched for the first time a couple days ago. And that's where I could tell the fatigue. I never, like, it used to be that even if I couldn't catch it in the theater due to personal life, the second a Marvel movie was out on Disney Plus, it was immediately within 3 days I was watching that film. I only would wait maybe even 2 days simply so I could watch it. Marvels I watched by myself months after it was already released. Because I was just like, okay, cool. It's wildly different. I really actually do enjoy the movie. I think it's quite fun. I understand why it is a 62% from a critical response, 82% from an audience response. I get it, but it is kind of fucking wild that that's we this is part of the uptick as well, and it's just and a lot of people immediately go with the three female leads. It's woke bullshit. I don't agree with that claim whatsoever. I think a lot of men online that like to review bomb shit and are the very, very vocal, annoying fucking minority kind of helped ruin the Marvels and set a tone and commentary to it. I do actually believe kind of what happened. But again, sorry, I did not know I didn't go back to recording. What am I doing? There we go. That's what I'm looking at. It's kind of wild to see all of these, projects just kind of go, but you're still seeing high quality with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, with Loki Season 2. Again, the Marvels has a lot of fun redeeming qualities. It's just a fun movie. Just a lot of people never gave it a shot. So you're seeing quality. And then I'll just get to Echo quick. Echo is the one thing I have not watched. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how they thought Echo was a good idea. And it is nothing against Alakwa Cox. It is nothing against the character of Echo itself. It's a very interesting character. I am going to be watching that. It's just one of those that, of all the things that you could do right now, that feels the most grasping at straws for high quality content. You need a hit. You just need a good double. You need a good triple. If you can get it, you need a home run or a grand slam to get everyone back in. But that feels like the most, we know we're fatigued. Let's get this thing out there kind of thing for an audience to go. There isn't a lot to grab hold of, because even though you had big heroes in this, we talked about, we got Black Widow, Ant-Man, Thor, Valkyrie, Nick Fury, Captain Marvel, Black Panther. We got big fucking heroes. Wanda, we got Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Vision, a new Captain America, Winter Soldier. These are all characters that are bankable. People love. Guardians of the Galaxy. People love this shit. And we're fatigued by it. It wasn't due to quality. Quantity. But with that quantity, too many times people say, ugh, I'm over it. And then that becomes due to fatigue, and immediately there's no benefit of the doubt. There's no excitement. There's no enthusiasm. And there's no, I can't wait for the next one. If you actually look at the quality of the MCU from 2008 to 2019, I'm not shitting on the MCU. I absolutely adore it. But so many people were so interested and so invested as they built in quality that they'd let a movie that wasn't as good, they'd rate it a lot higher than it probably actually deserved to be, because giving them a minute up, excited, they weren't fatigued, chomping at the bit to get the next bit of the story. And then you're here, where Marvel's starting to learn, oh shit, looking like to most people the quality's dropping, but that's not actually the case. We're just giving them too much. My favorite food of all time, fried chicken sandwich, favorite food. But if you put 12 on a plate and say eat them all, I'm not going to be able to do it. You can maybe eat 2. But eventually I'm going to go, fuck, I can't eat any chicken sandwiches, dude. I just can't do it. And then I'm inherently, for 6 months to a year after I do that, probably going to go, don't even. I can't. That's where Marvel got to. So it's a quantity issue. I think that's a really unique and interesting dynamic to look at. Because so many people, because of the fatigue, just go, oh, superhero movies, over it. Superhero movies suck. Yeah, it's unfortunate. 3 of the last 5 or 6 Marvel movies were not super high quality. But redeeming factors. They were movies for the most part. Shows were doing really, really well. It's just quality wise, it just wasn't there. In terms of fever pitch excitement, and we didn't have the benefit of the doubt. It's a very interesting dichotomy. Something I wanted to think about more. And now I think we're poised for a reboot. As soon as Deadpool and Wolverine hits, we're gonna see the fandom jump right back up where it was because people eat that shit up, myself included. I'm still almost on a weekly or bi-weekly basis rewatching the trailer, just going Wolverine, because I just want Wolverine in the MCU. I want Deadpool. I love getting to see another Easter egg I missed. It's a really interesting dynamic that I think is very, very important. It's an ebb and flow. We're at a dip and we need to come back up, but remember that as you're watching these, go back and watch those things that you pays for, because there's a lot of high quality stuff, and you'll see that it's not the quantity, it's not the quality. That's how much of a good thing can you have? Well, we've answered. We've gotten too much, and now we need to go back. Maybe 2 or maybe 3 movies a year and 2 shows. Maybe 3 shows. Maybe. And I'm saying maybe from a, I don't know, taking a risk here. If it were me, I would probably do 2 shows and 2 movies. But you get 1 a quarter, and you kind of get 2 movies and 2 shows. Eke it out a little bit more. That way, there's high quality stuff. I would do 2 specials, maybe. If you want to really get to 6 projects a year, every 2 months you're releasing something, do 2 specials, like Werewolf by Night. But then you have the opportunity to do something quick, easy, ready to go, makes people happy and fun. Done. I'm okay with that approach, but you need to figure it out. But again, it's not quality. That's where the fatigue comes in. It's not a quality issue. Just recall that when you're going to be watching a new project from now on. And as we build to whoever the fuck is the new villain, because we don't know if it's going to be Kang the Conqueror any longer. Or are we going to get the rumored Doctor Doom? Another character of some kind? We don't fucking know. It's going to be interesting nonetheless, and we'll see how. That is today's show. I'm going to be back. I'm going to stay in the Marvel lane because next week, I just couldn't wait. I wanted to make sure I got you guys an awesome episode. The X-Men 97, the final episode drops as of recording. Yes, roughly 24 hours from now from recording. Maybe a little bit longer, but I'm going to be reviewing that as fast as I possibly can Wednesday night or Thursday while still fresh in mind. I fucking love X-Men 97, and I can't wait to gush all over it. Give a full review of the full season series. That is going to be next week's show for the ONETA Show. But before you do that, maybe go check out some shit. Maybe a Marvel fatigue. That's fine. But you don't have PTE creative fatigue. Hopefully. Go over to Etsy shop, you know? Go to ptecreative.etsy.com and go get yourself some merchandise. You can go over to the Etsy shop and you can just kind of go scroll through. We got some cool Pokemon merch. We got some cool nature merch. We got some cool football merch. We got our own fashion line with the See It line. We got Harry Potter stuff. We got all the good stuff. We're insulting the city of Philadelphia because it's a dumpster fire, and more than proud to tell you that one. We got all kinds of cool stuff, and we have new stuff coming at the shop. So please go to ptecreative.etsy.com. And if you do that, use the promo code BLISS, BLISS, at checkout. You can take 20% off any order of 2 items or more. So please go do that and treat yourself to merch and help your boy out as trying to continue my artistic journey and trying to make a few shuckets as I do it. So really appreciate that. So go check out ptecreative.com. Along with that, go check out the rest of our content Monday through Friday on our YouTube channel. Obviously, if you're listening, you know we got Spotify podcast Tuesdays and Thursdays with the ONETA Show on Tuesdays, the ONETA Football Show on Thursdays. However, this week, remember that the ONETA Football Show is preempted to Friday due to the schedule release, so we're going to kind of flipper-flopper. on that one, but that's A-OK. And then Monday, new Pokemon pack. Wednesday, new Pokemon. New Pokemon, man. And Friday, podcast, which is usually the rotational stuff. We're going to have some quality stuff for you. We're getting new Lego stuff out to you. We're going to have new adventure shows out to you in the next couple weeks. So go check those out. And if you can, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell if you're on YouTube. That'd be really appreciated. Leave us a review wherever you can. Bad or good, I want to know your opinions because you're my audience and I love you. Please go do that. But that is going to do it over on the ONETA Show today. I have been your host, Evan Davies. It has been a joy as always. I will catch you next time. Peace out, homies. Enjoy the internet.